Good afternoon, everyone. Mr. President, it truly is an honor to welcome you to CIA as we celebrate our 75th anniversary. Your presence here today means a great deal to the men and women of this agency, with whom I am deeply proud to serve. Mr. President, you know as well as anyone in public life that good intelligence delivered with honesty and integrity is America's first line of defense. Along with Director Haynes and partners across the intelligence community, we work hard every day to earn your trust and the trust of the American people. We work hard every day to help navigate a world in profound transformation. From Vladimir Putin's brutal aggression in Ukraine, to the long-term challenge posed by the People's Republic of China, to the revolution in technology which is changing the way we live, work, fight, and compete. We work hard every day to help shape a workforce fit for these 21st century challenges, to take care of our officers and their families, and to embody the richness and diversity of American society. And we work hard every day to honor the quiet bravery immortalized on the simple marble wall behind me, whose 139 stars remind us of the risks we take and the sacrifices we make in order to help keep Americans safe. Mr. President, you honor us with your presence today, and you honor all those who have served at CIA over these past 75 years. Thank you so much. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's my great privilege to introduce the President of the United States, Joe Biden.
Thank you very much. Thank you. It's so good to be back. This is my third time standing before these stars to speak, and in my life in public, my time in public office, and it's a great honor. I was saying to some of the folks, and Avril's heard me say this before, along with Bill, that I've been involved with your agency for not 75 years, but I hate to admit it, 52 years. I know it's even hard to say. At any rate, but you know, there was a time when there were questions raised about the agency in the so-called Church Committee way back in the early 70s, and that's when they set up intelligence committees in the United States Senate, although I know you doubt that intelligence in the Senate, but I'm joking. But in the House of Representatives, and I was appointed to that committee by a great man, straight as an arrow, named Mike Mansfield, the senator from Montana. They called him Iron Mike, and he I think, I might not positive, but I think the next youngest person on the committee was, I think, 28 or 29 years older than I was. So I've been new, and I've been watching from that day on, and been deeply involved either as a member of the Intelligence Committee or the chairman of the Foreign Relations Committee, or doing national security issues as vice president, and to today. And you're an incredible group of people, Before I move to my specific remarks I want to talk about today, I'd like to say just a very few words about the horrific, shocking killing of my friend, Japanese Prime Minister Abe. I became acquainted with him when I was vice president. I hosted him. He hosted me in Japan. And I just stopped by the Japanese embassy to see the ambassador and sign the condolence book for the Japanese people. I knew him well, and we worked together closely for years, and we spoke and consulted one another when I served as vice president. And he was deeply committed to strengthening the alliance and friendship between the United States and Japan, and pursuing an open and free Indo-Pacific region. And service to his country and his people was in his bones. Even after he stepped down from public office, his focus on his health, he stayed engaged. He cared deeply, and I hold him in great respect. This attack has had a profound impact on the psyche of the Japanese people. This is a different culture they're not used to, as unfortunately we are. Here in the United States, we know how deep the wounds of gun violence go from communities that are affected. And this assassination is a tragedy that all the people of Japan are feeling. Today, I'm keeping his wife and family in my prayers, and the United States is standing in solidarity with our ally Japan, with confidence in the strength of Japan's democracy as they approach their elections on Sunday. Director Burns, Director Cohn, and I'm honored to be here, standing in front of this hallowed wall to honor 75 years of this proud institution. Thank you for your being here today as well. For 75 years, our nation's intelligence professionals have worked unceasingly and sacrificed willingly to make our country safer. And that's not hyperbole. That's a simple, straightforward fact. And as we celebrate the history of this agency, we'll never forget those who have laid down their lives in service to this nation. 139 stars behind me. 2 added just this year. Each a patriot whose sacrifice we're going to always honor, and whose legacies live on in each of you as you continue their work. You know, so often you have to keep your identity secret, sometimes even in death, that we don't get the chance to thank you enough. It's for all that you do. You have to keep it secret, so many of you. You ask for no recognition or personal acclaim, knowing that the quiet bravery of the women and men of this agency echoes loudly all around the world, and I assure you it does around the world. It's not an exaggeration. In the years between leaving office as Vice President and winning the nomination for President, the thing I missed most, and I mean this sincerely, I was a professor at the University of Pennsylvania, but I missed, you're going to think I'm nuts, but I missed waking up every morning and seeing the PDB. No, seriously. Every single morning, except from the time I was 26 years old, 27 years old, 37 years old, until I left the vice presidency. Every morning I got up and I knew what was happening around the world in detail, and in many cases in sharp relief. It's indispensable to me as I face some of the difficult decisions to have the best possible information provided by the most capable, reliable intelligence community in the world. And again, not hyperbole. You are clearly the best in the whole world. It was thanks to the incredible work of our intelligence professionals that we were able to forewarn the world what Vladimir Putin was planning in Ukraine. We saw what he was doing. You saw it. The forces he was amassing, the plans he was making, exposing Putin's playbook, punched a gigantic hole in the pretense and discredited his lies about what we were doing in Ukraine. Without revealing sources and methods, that's been critical to our ability to rally our allies and partners around the world. Again, not an exaggeration, to keep them united. I imagine, General, you wondered whether we could. Many thought, could we keep NATO alive? This organization changed dramatically since President Truman signed this into law, the National Security Act of 1947, which created the CIA. War, to our fight against terrorism, to equipping ourselves for the competition ahead with China and meeting the transnational challenges that are reached, so that those of us who direct American foreign policy can do everything in our power, to keep the American people safe. But it does mean that I expect you to tell me the truth, no matter what. No matter what. I expect each of you to honor the democratic values and ideals that form the core of our nation's strength. We're the most unique nation in the history of the world. And one of the reasons to guarantee that doesn't happen is the unvarnished truth. Because in this week, when we celebrate our nation's independence, remember that America is the strongest when we lead, not just by the example of our power, but the power of our example. That's why most nations follow us. The power of our example, or acts of aggression before they happen. Because the greatest value of our intelligence collection is the good we do with it. And the men who changed the game or set the standard for intelligence profession. You know, it's an important reminder, just like these stars behind me, that's what sets this agency apart. Has always been what sets you apart are the people. That's what sets you apart. And just like the work of every part of our government, you know, that's something Wild Bill Donovan knew when he created the Office of Strategic Services to collect intelligence to help us win World War II. And if diversity was essential to intelligence work in the 40s, this mission is critical today. If everyone brings the same ideas, the same experience, the same skill sets to work, it leaves some pretty big blind spots in our security. So let me just close by saying your health, your physical health and well-being are critically important to me and to your leadership here at the CIA. And as your president and your #1 consumer of your work, I have the greatest respect for you, for the sacrifices you and your families make for the country, not just you. There's an expression, Keats, they also serve only stand and wait. Think of your families, all the sacrifices they've made. I know that you'll continue to honor and uphold the highest traditions of the CIA and the highest values of this nation for the next 75 years and beyond. And you continue to serve as the bedrock of our national security as well as our national strength. So thank you for all that you do. May God protect you all and the work that keeps this nation safe from harm. And may God protect our troops. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.